Hello everyone and welcome back to another Series 2 video. Today we are taking a look at 358 Strelkova in the Playing Every Division series. So this is a fun one from the Fate of Finland DLC. It's not very popular, but I wanted to do this because I played recently against it in a tournament game. It was actually quite an interesting game that showed that this division still has some strength and can offset some of the weakness sometimes. It's quite matchup specific, but it can work. And then we had some, a long discussion about this division, so that just made me want to play it. And so this division, my thoughts on it is, it obviously is not a particularly good one. It has plenty of issues. It's one of those divisions that is kind of a little bit of a one-trick pony, as in it's really only good on CQC maps. Now, you would think, and that was one part of the discussion that we had on the Discord, you would think that maybe you have some tools that can make it playable on other maps too. And honestly, this is true to some extent. Like, this division has more variety than some of the other low-tier divisions that we've seen. There's definitely no debate about that, but it will not be good on any map that isn't a CQC map. However, it can definitely beat other divisions that are not more suited for CQC, and if you then end up on a mid to long range map, this division will at least have some better tools that. So for example, compare with something like Ruchmar or Pana. With this division, at least you have something to fight at mid or long range, whereas that division has nothing. So that there are some versatilities here, but it's really more of a one trick pony. And it has some of the nicest CQC units in here, which you're going to see. But unfortunately just lacks a little bit more pushing power and AT options with its tank tab, and the AA is also probably. Because the rest is honestly quite good. I do not think this would be a bad division if it just had another card of mediums, maybe two, and some better AA. But even the AA sometimes can work, but this is more of a problem, in my personal opinion. So I think this division actually had a lot of potential if it got a little bit more armor, and ideally also a little bit more AA. And then the next thing that I would also wish for would be some bazookas, because obviously at the close to mid ranges, this is very important, and this being a close range division, it kind of makes it important for this division as well. But other than that, it has some fun tools, and I do think this is actually an interesting one. So let's get into it. I do believe this is a Vanguard division. I've also talked to Yapaza, who played it when I played against him, and he's also the opinion that it is a Vanguard division, and it might look a little bit counterintuitive, but really you have a lot of good stuff that you can bring in A phase that allow you to get early pressure. While you don't have all the fast tools Soviets usually get, it's still a Soviet division. You still have a little bit of speediness, which you can definitely nicely use. So that makes it actually quite suitable for this, in my personal opinion. It looks a little bit weird, that choice, when you look at the T-34-76 in B phase, and I know we'll get a lot of shit for that in the comments, and you're not entirely wrong. However, there is another, we're going to get to this, there is an advantage for taking it in A phase, and there's an advantage for taking it in B phase, when we're talking about Vanguard. But why Vanguard? Why is this so good? First of all our light armor, which is how we can generate a lot of pressure on the close ranges, is in A phase. That doesn't necessarily make it like a Vanguard, but I think it goes well with it. Second is you have a lot of really strong tool that you want to bring out early anyway, and that kind of helps you keep this going. And the last thing is obviously the AA issue. You kind of want to have a little bit of a strong phase in A phase so they can bring out all the AA early on, and also hopefully keep up a little bit of pressure that your opponent can't easily start air spamming you. If we want to go Maverick, we have less of that pressure, meaning our opponent has an easier time bringing out planes, which is going to make it harder for us. That is kind of the logic there. So let's look at the build. In the recon, we do have to be a 10. We definitely need to have this. We need about all the armor we can get, because this, first of all, protects our infantry against other armor, and also helps us generate some pressure. Sniper, I love them for the opener. Snipers are still useful, even though they are definitely not what they used to be, but still quite a useful unit. Obviously a little bit more situational. A lot of divisions these days do have fast light armor, meaning you can't always use it in the opener. But even outside of the opener, it can be a useful tool. These guys. We need more recon anyway, and getting some 50 cals It's never a bad thing. So we take those. Now the T70. This is extremely important. You do need to take this in A phase if you take the T34 in B phase. If you do take the T34 in B phase, you do need in A phase. Sorry, you need to take this in B phase. Why? While it's not great at it, it's about the only tool that is mobile that we have in A phase, or in B phase if you want to do it the other way around, that has at least some pen that can deal with medium tanks. Yes, it only does 3 damage, it is only 1000 meter range, it's a little bit crappy. This is a close range division. If we have to go over 1000 meters range and we need a tank for that, we're kind of screwed anyway. Like, the T-34 is not going to change that. It's not a good tank for those ranges, I'm sorry. So it is good enough for what we need. We need to make sure that we can at least win at the closer ranges, and this thing can help us. Obviously, it's not ideal, but it's the best we have. And you will need that capability both in A and in B phase, so there's no way around it. This is why we take it in the phase we don't tank the T-34. Otherwise, you're absolutely screwed, because you do not have any good reaction to a tank that is not an AT gun, and depending on the range, an AT gun is actually quite problematic as well. So, must take. Infantry tab. Here's where it's going to get fun, but we're going to start with the standard stuff. There's some things I would love to take, but I cannot fit in. One of them is Superior PPSH. You all know these things are quite nice for a little bit of shock moment at the start, getting an aggressive opener up and, you know, rushing in. This thing can do some damage, at least up close, and obviously the Panzerfaust is really useful. It's also nice to secure yourself a good position because your opponent can't easily approach throughout the roads if you rush in with this. However, as you can see, it's a little bit limited here. We definitely do want to have 2 cards of line infantry in A phase, then 1 in B, 1 in C. We do want to have a card of CQC in each phase, in my opinion, because this is kind of one thing that makes this division special. We do want to have more CQC in A phase. You want to have a leader. And this is where it kind of ends. Just not more room. Unfortunately. So we can't fit it in as much as I would love to. If this was not an infantry heavy division, and if we were not expecting our CQC infantry to do a lot of things, I would be fine with taking out the AFTO and putting these guys in, but in this specific scenario, I'm just not. So if you want to, though, do put them in. I do think it might be a mistake not taking it, but I just can't really see myself with going on in with just 1 card of CQC with this particular division, especially on a Vanguard build, but even on a Maverick build, I would probably want to have more. So there's that. Now, we do only have 2 cards of Strelka DP. We take 1 in A phase and 1 in B phase. We do not want to have our power drop off too fast, so we do want to have some of these in B phase left still. Meaning that we take the Strelki SVT of the Strelki because they are at least a little bit better with the SVT. It actually makes them somewhat decent. I would love to take them with 50 cal half track, which I do most of the time, but here we cannot take it with the Grupa Zarcistic, but something, the Grupa, but we cannot take it with Strelki SVT, so we just take that in a regular transport, and that's going to have to do. Another thing that you could do is you can go with a little bit more spam with the Chernos. That, in my opinion, would also not be a bad idea. It helps you out with your numbers and can actually, the combination, I think, of Chernos and Love the Light's armor can actually be quite useful to generate a lot of pressure. So in that regard, this would also not be a bad idea. I definitely wouldn't fault anyone for going with the Chernos. I'm not actually 100% sure. No, you can even take military police, but it's not a good unit. So yeah, it's not really feasible to support it with military police. But you could definitely go that route if you want. I actually think that having some AT grenades is not that bad as well, but you do have some of the AFTOs as well. Now, AFTOs versus a Perry, if you want to have more long-range power or a little bit of hybridness, a Perry is also a good idea. But I think the AFTOs are really nice. They also are useful when you need to defend in some areas a little bit more, because this combination is really good to defend in towns. And then we have this beast. Now, this is one of the best CQC units in my opinion. In terms of raw power, it is definitely not the best. There's ones that are really good. But price to performance ratio, I think this is one of the better ones. And I mean, if you look at it, it's basically a Sherman Pioneer with 2 automatic rifles. So that is nice for 2 reasons. First of all, you get a little bit more damage, but also you get a little bit more durability, which is one of the big weaknesses that the Sherman Pioneers have. But then all of your SMGs are swarmers. That actually makes it a lot better. So the combination of the swarmers with a flamer is, as any flamer with submachine guns, is quite potent. That makes quite a bit of damage as the unit moves. And then the AVTs just help. And again, the extra health is really huge because that means they don't die as quickly, which is one of the big issues with some of these smaller units, even if they do put out some damage. So this is actually really, really nice. To round it off, you still have some smoke, and we do take in the 50 cal transport. V-Phase, we have more of these guys. I don't see a reason to take the afters when we can take these. That should win us CQC fights. Obviously, for the long run, when we want to go defensive, having the afters is really nice, but we just can't fit them in, and we do want to make use of a good CQC. C-Phase, Strelkova will have to do. We just need to hold for a little bit. If you wanted to, and no, you can't, so nope. This is not an option, because I would have said, I actually would have been maybe a decent choice to take those in C-Phase and then go with the journals, but we can't, so we're not going to do that. Tank tab. Not that many options here. Honestly, would not be that bad to take a leader as well. Maybe we should try and do that. Actually, I think, yeah, getting a little bit more leadership might not be that bad. I have a hard time not taking it, but this should be within its own radio range anyway. This doesn't necessarily need a radio, so... Oh no, it's a 1 point. Oh, crap. Okay, we're going to keep that then, and we are going to let go of... I don't really... Maybe we don't need the second Maxim. I might make a stake here, but let's take this. A little bit more of APC, a little bit more APCR. Some leadership. Maybe not that bad. Yeah. But yeah, this is straightforward. This not really worth it. T26 is nice to have. It is cheap. It holds the land a little bit. It can deal with light armor just fine. Not so much with light tanks, but half-tracks and such, quite nice. And it can bully infantry. That's all we need. This thing, it has an autocan. Autocans are nice. Simple. We get 8 of them. It has decent armor as well, so it can actually fight other autocan vehicles quite nicely. It's a T70. We've seen the one in Recon tab. And then T34 in B-Phase. So now the reason why... So let's talk about this now. The reason why I take it in B-Phase is this. By the end of A-Phase, our income obviously starts going down then as we go into B-Phase, but our opponent, even whether he plays Balanced or Maverick, is not quite at the point where he's really catching up to us that fast. So we still have some time to go to continue our pushes, which means that this thing, even if it just comes in B-Phase, is still useful. At the same time, when we have to go defensive, eventually we want to be able to react to situations. Not having a tank that can help us there is really problematic. And then obviously, you know, the game is probably going to go longer than just 10 or 15 minutes. So just having 4 of those is really not enough. Even if you go single, a no vet, which I wouldn't recommend, 2 is still not enough. I do not double vet this because we need the numbers here. Absolutely. Usually I go double vet, here I don't. But this is why I think it's better to take it in B-Phase. Now, you could make the counter argument, and this is also a fair point, that you should take it in A-Phase, because in A-Phase you want to push, and you need this thing to push. But as I said, you're pushing the time where you can actually push is very, very, very limited in that case, and that can generate problems of its own. So, because you run out of those super quick, and then you absolutely cannot push for the rest of the game, which is also problematic. So my goal will be kind of to push a little bit at the start initially, and then as mediums start to arrive, we dig in and go defensive, and then when these arrive, we do a little bit of pushing again towards at the beginning of B-Phase, when we still have a lot of units on the field from our superior income, and we still have a decent income to continue pushing for a little bit. This is kind of how it would go. But this is the general plan of this. Obviously, matchup dependent. If your opponent doesn't really have much light medium armor, then we can actually push quite nicely in A-Phase too throughout the whole phase. Support that we don't have flamers, which kind of sucks. That would have been helping us for some of the speediness. We take support gun, we take a maximum, we need the ammo obviously, and then the 50 mil is quite nice to have as well. It helps with those infantry fights that we can't win easily otherwise. You could actually decide not to take it because you have your armor to help you, but I still think that we might need it, so we go for it. A G-Tab. This is a big one. We want to take about... I wish this was bigger, but we have to take... We take what we get. We take these guys. Brone Boishiki, or something like that. They're just the bros. With the AT rifles, it's 2 Latis, so it's really good. Then you have a Gebal Ladung as well. Smoke and 5 PPSH. 7 health in total. This is actually a really good AT unit. Like, this is a fantastic AT unit. Unfortunately, not in a fast transport, but still very useful. So we do take this. We absolutely do want to take this. It's not as important as in other divisions because light armor is the one thing that our division can actually deal with. But we need a light armor to actually help bullying other infantry and all these kind of things as well. So just having something to defend our infantry is a nice thing to have. We do want to take it. And if you realize that you can't use it in any other way, you can still just use it for the TNT and mix it in with your CQC. So, and obviously it helps you pushing into territories where your light armor can't easily follow. 45 mil, we do need it. This, again, the APCR at 1000 meter range is still useful, so we do want to have it. It's also fast, quite nice. So these two, we do need to take this in A phase. If we do not take these guys in A phase, and even if we took them in A phase, it might still be useful because it's got the extra pen. So this is the one tool that gives us a little bit more pen at range. Yeah, that's that. And then this thing in B phase because, yeah, I want to have the capability to kill something that's a little bit heavier than, let's say, a Steward early on. Now to the big boys. You could argue that you don't need them, but this is one of the only things that we have that it really has range and pen, and it gives us a little bit more versatility on other maps, so we do want to take this. Take one in A, one in B phase. Now the reason why I take specifically this one, because if we take this one and double that, we get 2. Here we only get 1, but I think with this division, if we need more than 2, we're probably losing anyway. And this thing, you know, it's actually this, the problem with this is a bit of a coin flip. It has a relatively slow rate of fire. The accuracy is not great, but not that bad. It's also not horrible compared to other heavy tanks. But it obviously does 12 damage, so it can one-tap even heavies. So it's just a little bit of a coin flip whenever you're fighting other tanks, whether you're actually going to win or not. This thing helps us reduce that a little bit. So I'm perfectly fine with paying 10 points more, to actually make this thing pay off. Paying 10 points less and having a high chance of this not paying off is not really that good of a deal. But this thing has more accuracy. At double that, it gets a nice 50% accuracy, which is really good. And we also have one, our rate of fire is going to go up by 1 as well. So that means that, you know, this is basically, you need to shoot as much as you can, because every time there's a 50% chance of you one-tapping your opponent. But if your opponent shoots much faster than you, on average, yeah, you will be screwed. So this is why I take this one. A tap, not much here. We take this because it's the only AA we have. We do single vet it. I think at no vet they're not quite good enough, but double vetting is definitely not an option. Only 2 is not going to be enough. We can definitely go back to no vet if we realize we really need the numbers, but I think this should be enough. We need to concentrate in one area for sure. And then we have these guys. Look, usually they're not that good, but here we kind of want to take them because against some bad resilience planes, if you have them really close to the front line, they can actually do some work. And they can't get killed by small arms fire. They can also obliterate any infantry, meaning that we can actually put this relatively close to the front line and be fine with it. And in that case, it can actually do some good work. Like this can really force off planes at those distances. So that's why we take it. Totally tab. Yeah, I remember now why I'm doing it, but this is just 1 point and nothing else here really that I want. So I'm just going to take this one. That gives us radio, which is nice to have for these guys. It's not a must, but it's nice. You could take the Katyusha if you want to. They're not horrible if you are quite close to the target. They can do some work. They're still not great, but they can work. I'm just still not a huge fan of it, so I rather leave it. But in this division, maybe you have to take them. F-22, yeah, you can take the C3 if you want to. I like the F-22 because of the radio. It definitely does matter. But one of those you want to have, personally, I would always take these over the 82 mil. In my opinion, they perform a little bit more consistently. This thing gives us some more AT, which we might need. It gives us 2 KHE, which we might need for those to protect those. And it just gives us more artillery if we really need it. But obviously, this is more of an emergency thing. And then the 210, it's just a good unit. It's a nice artillery piece, so we're happy to have it. We have to take in the super as slow transport unless we want to take it with ammo, which makes it ridiculously expensive, which is why we don't do that. Air tap, we need a fighter. We cannot afford to vet here, so this one at no vet, it is better than the 7B, so there's no question it should take the P39. And we take the X7B here. For the AT, because again, we might need some AT capabilities. The loadout is not good, but it is what we have. So we have to deal with it. And then we have the HE. This thing is really good. we take one in A phase. Take another one in B phase. You could also take this one. I'm actually considering taking this one because I actually like this loadout a little bit more. The heavy one is really nice, but I think the extra speed is and slightly lower price makes for a good combination. Obviously, the huge bombs are great, but this thing is good enough. And the extra speed, again, helps us keeping them alive. So, yeah, we don't have an extensive A in it to cover them against fighters, so this actually makes a difference. This is why I would take those. You can also go with IL-2 spam if you want to. That's also a fair option. Now, the recon plane is really nice whenever you have AT planes, but in this particular case, this is going to get forced off so easily. I would really love to take it, but we kind of have to fill out everything here and over here, and here it's not. It's like not really cheap in any of the tabs except for the delay tab, which there's just not much more we want to take here. So that I just can't really find those 2 points. But otherwise, it would be nice. For 10 points, a recon plane is always a great deal. So here we are on Orsha North now. Just full disclaimer, this is another non-quick play game, because I kept running to the same guy who in the first game basically rushed the timer and then quit when things got a little bit difficult, about 5 minutes in or so. So I was looking for someone to play me, and I found that person. I don't know how I should call him now, because there's a different Discord name than he used to, and a different in-game name, but I'm just calling with our user code Schüssel. So thank you very much for playing. Now he picked, again, I left him the choice of map and matchup. Map and division, without him knowing what I play, to keep it at least a little bit close to the spirit of quick play, because I think this is the best way to, when we look at divisions for quick play, we want to see the good and the bad. So yeah, first SS is what we're fighting here. This is obviously not ideal, but it could be worse. Now, unfortunately, his CQC unit got quite a bit better with the MP44 buff, but I think we can still handle that, and in A phase, we should definitely be able to handle it. But our strategy definitely has to be fighting over the sides. I can't really imagine us fighting over the open too much. I will probably try to get something in here, like an AFTO in that particular building right here. That should actually hold off quite well against whatever he has to send in. I don't want to, like these, I'm just not going to contest too much. I do not have the speed with this division. It's just not really feasible. And he has the Pumas for some aggressive openers. Maybe we could put an AT gun in here. Since it's Pumas, yeah, we're expensive. If he opens that way, I think it's good that we have it. So maybe we put that in here. Not actually to hold, but rather to trade. I want to trade. I want to cost. I want to inflict him some wounds. Not so much concerned about actually holding this off. If he pushes this, he pushes this. There's not much I can do. At least not with the speed difference. I don't have the fast flamers or anything like that. I could actually contest this flag. Same goes for this one. Not really feasible. Gonna put another one of these in here. More to prevent any rushes down here if he decides to do that. And less so to actually defend it. We're gonna send one Strelkova SVT over there. What I want to do is send a sniper in here, not to snipe, but to actually spot. I need to turn off. I need to put it on return fire though, which, yeah, let's see how that's gonna go. Unload it here because otherwise it might actually turn to, yeah, this way should do it. That assigns the building, but you need to make sure where you unload them. If I unload him back here, it might actually turn around here, unload here, and then walk in the church, which I obviously don't want if I specifically have it coming from this side. Actually, let's put this one, because I don't need to be concerned about putting it on return fire. Oh, now I unloaded the wrong thing. I don't want to have the AFTO. So this flag, he might get it at some point. I just want to waste his time a little bit. I don't want him to immediately get it. That's the point. Because that would be the 1311, and I obviously need to be quite careful about that. So, just that. Now, for over here, I don't think we pressure this too much. The play that we want to aim for, because eventually we'll probably lose all of this. We might be able to retake one of them, but it's going to be not so easy. This one can also be pressured. So, we're looking at winning over here and winning over here. So the plan should be getting all of this, because then it's going to be tricky for him to get back in. And even if we don't get this, we at least have 2 flags and an area where he's going to struggle fighting in. Over here, in the meantime, we should actually be able to get this, and then we can, through the forest, start pushing into the town. That's going to net us a total of 5 flags, which should offset the 4 that I'm expecting to lose in the center. That's kind of how I plan on this. And we still have the ICU 152, so we can still contest the open to some extent. And then I hopefully get lucky when I fight the Panthers. Now, fortunately, this is actually okay for the flags, because we're going to be fighting Stücks and Panzer IVs up close, and this is something we can actually handle with those. So, not too unhappy with this. But let's get going now. So, we want to get an AT gun up here. Actually, let's put it down here. That's something I do very often. Then we can, up there, we're going to get ourselves one of these, one of the bros. And I then can push forward through the forest. We have the Lati with those, which is quite fantastic. Let's focus a little bit on AT first, just to make sure that I'm not going to get rushed. Right, we got that done. Now, over here, we're going to put something in that can actually fight a little bit, and then if he gets too close with Panzer, a Gren or something like that, or if he rushes through with one of his Pumas, it's going to get too close, and the AT grenade can kill it. If the infantry comes too close, I can actually hop in some of these buildings, and at those distances with the SVT, you should win against the Panzergren. Obviously, this is not a long-term solution. We don't actually plan on him pushing here, which is not something that people do very often. But it gives me a little bit of security in case something rushes through there, and they don't need to deploy an AT gun dedicated to this, which would be quite annoying. So, next up, recon situation. Up here, I'm perfectly happy to deploy a sniper. We're going to think about what else we're going to need there in a bit. Maybe one of these, because he's obviously not going to be going here with just tanks, but this is going to give us some option. And then we are actually going to bring, if he rushes in with a Puma, this should hopefully arrive in time to do something about it. Because if he rushes up here, it's going to be annoying. But I don't think we should pressure this. If I had a flame, I would do it, but we don't have them, so fighting over this is quite annoying. I need moment. Now this is going to be a really tricky one. The map is obviously not too bad for me, but my opponent is not bad either, and the diff still has its issues. So we have to be smart. We definitely have to take this. So we're going to send in a leader over here, Strelky DP. We're going to save the afters because some areas are going to be quite useful. Our opponent will bring TNT throwers for the most part, so there's a move. We actually, if we can save something from B-phase, that's actually better, and then we use them in defensive positions like here, maybe to reinforce these once we get them. But that's a secondary objective. We first take this because it's an easy one, or a nice one for us to take. Here we hold and then push, and once we have some success over here, we go over there. That should be the goal. So, there's some group of Zachiski. We have Strelky DP over there. We do 100% need 50 mils, and I'm actually not going to be holding back on those. Next thing we're going to need is some armor. I'm going to bring another leader there. I'm going to bring another T70 because they actually do have some of the pen that we need. And a T60 because that can just wreck some infantry units, and this one is just there to bully infantry as well. And potentially, you know, kill a Puma or something like that. Then we're going to get a Maxim to hopefully support the open here a little bit. We can't rush in there because we don't have the speed that we need for that. But yeah, we're going to do a slow push here. The good thing is my opponent doesn't have a greatest air force, so the AA problem is not as big of a problem. His AA is okay, but not super strong. So the Tier 2s might actually be able to do some work as well. And now for this one, we're gonna bring a Strelky DP. I think over here, this thing is kind of slow. I forgot about that. So we're actually gonna take this then. Another one of those. I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna bring a leader tank. Need to hold this defensively. I'm gonna bring Strelky SVT. and one of these, and I think then we're actually ready to go. This one can unload right back here, and this one can unload, I don't know, over there. Just more defensive in nature. I kind of hope that it goes a little bit aggressive, and we can trade, and then we can push. We're going to have to do this slow and methodically. Otherwise, I don't see a lot of success for us over here. So I guess we're also going to take the a little bit... well, we have enough horses we can allow him to be a little bit more aggressive. And then this will shift over here, eventually. We don't have anything in there, but it's going to have to do. Something here with 18 here, we have 18 here with something going in there, and then... Did we queue up an order for this? No, we did not. I actually think that should go back in here, and then we can later follow up with Strelkova SVT, and the combination should push quite nicely over there. Yeah, I think that's going to be alright. Oh yeah, we have the AT gun over here, so we don't actually need to be that concerned. So we don't need the T26. This should do. We have an AT gun. Shouldn't forget about that. It kind of sucks that we have to group at Sarchiski. That is so expensive. That's why I don't like taking my CQC in a transport, because we could actually get some CQC up here as well. Or we get another tank going. Maybe we do get another tank over there. Oh, actually, yeah, no. We're going to get the Strelkova in the position we talked about, like here. Because then we can actually start moving up here as well. Good. Ready. Good luck. Have fun. Yeah. We'd love to have recon planes, but it's going to be fine. We do have plenty of points because we are Vanguard, obviously, to buy one of these if we need it. Because of the little AA that we have, we kind of need to use fighters anyway. This is one of those specific situations where very often I'm not a huge fan of taking fighters, as you might know. Because I think at some point you need AA anyway, so might as well buy it fast, soon. But with this particular diff, you need AA and a fighter anyway, so yeah. We're going to buy one. It's going to buy us a little bit of time, and then we can start bringing out AA. We're definitely going to need 1 or 2 leaders in reserve to use that with our AA, but fortunately we do have some of these guys. Oh, I forgot about that. We're going to fight our way through here, then in here, get this, and we try to get this as well. He has a bit of range, so he can prevent that, obviously. We might actually be able to snipe something over here. Tries pushing in. Again, one or two transports would be nice. Good. Got that. Yeah, it's kind of going as expected, does it? Okay, we can't have the machine gun over there. We have to go a bit more of a defensive position right there. We're gonna have to send an after in here, don't we? Yeah, 59 right now is not that nice. It is that I could do without, honestly. Okay. He tried to go after this. What are we fighting here? Double star unit of some sort. Might have to do some dodging here. Of TNT. Oh no. Oh, it's one of these. Yeah, that's gonna win at this range. That's a bit of a problem. Okay, so the push is coming that we expected. Right, let's deal with it. And you can please defend over there. Oh, he died. Alright. Right, we got that. Yeah, we need to... Oh, you unloaded. That's not good, obviously. Yeah, you're not going to win that. Right, let's get some artillery support over there. Let's get these guys in there nice and safe. Oh, there comes the plane. Brings a fighter. Interesting choice. Very interesting choice indeed. So we're gonna bring AA now. Oh, this is annoying. Alright, so over here we can obviously start making some moves. What did the transport AOE in here? It died. Okay, I don't know what sniped that. We're gonna get these guys over here then. Okay, you can stop. You guys can push. We're gonna get some AA over here. Together with a leader. Over here, we can wait for the time being. Right, you can get in there. Again, I'm more... Trades are my main concern at the moment. Because we really need those. And then we need to win the flanks. This we can fix eventually. Pack 40 over here, we don't care. We're not actually contesting this. There's a lot of units that are just sitting there in the open and at the moment are not that important. Which is good for us. We need to deal with that though. This is really annoying. We can't have that in our backlines. Okay, so it's sitting in here then. Noted. Follow up. You can follow up over here. And it just start shelling whatever is over here. You can start bullying that, please. Okay, you can kill that. Right, we got that. Now let's get that out. We can actually just spam our way back in there. Oh. Lex, hello. Oh, we're back. We're back. Good, now we can start dealing with that. These guys can get in there, and then we can start pushing over there. These guys do not have AT, so with those T6, can really shred those. Now we're gonna get one of these like right up there as well. This one we need to be careful because from up here you can actually see over there to some extent. Yeah, it's focusing, I think, a bit too much on the open right there, where this is where the real threat is about to come. Again, after up there. I think we're going to get some recon up here that we can actually see a little bit better what's happening here. Leader. Oh. Right, let's get AT over there. And then over here we need to get some AA as well. You can actually go all the way up there. Okay, you can stop. Max pushes over here. We want to get down there. Over here, we're still winning this. Yeah, straight cross archers, not a good unit to be used. Okay, we can actually bomb those. Let me get some more AA up here, because we're gonna need it. But these guys are still in there. Wow, that's annoying. Okay, you can just stay here, please, and start shooting at this. You need to follow up now. Yeah, this is too close. Can turn into him now. He's not gonna get the kill on this. Maybe we wanna get close on this as well. And we stabilized. There we go. This is how we do it. Something was in there though. It was actually dangerous. Right. Now we can start taking this back. Okay, something killed that, so there might have been AT over here. Let's get some more EA over here now. We can push up as well. IH-18 is getting killed off. Now we push and then we can get this eventually. Good. So we're just gonna do this then. This flag I'm happy to fight over. He can't just have that. Need to get some 18 here though. Can't allow him to flank through there. He might actually have sent something through there already. And obviously this is not good. Actually, he has something in here as well. So we can send an after him. These guys need to wait. I guess group Satjiski in there. Good, now over here the push is actually taking shape. We're gonna have to clear this out first over here. Now we can start thinking about that. Oh, hello Panzerschreck. Hi Panzerschreck. Oh, I killed one of my units. Well, it is what it is. Okay, that's not too big of a deal. Just gonna send one in of those in here just to make sure that he can't easily take it. We need to get an AT gun up there. We haven't even used those, so we can actually have a go at contesting the center again. Okay, we need to secure this off for good. Obviously this is not... Yeah, there's AT. There is AT. I kind of knew that was something like that. Must have been over there. Yeah, this is now too close, my friend. Oh, whatever is there killed my group of Chatziski. That's not good. This is a bit too damaged. Yeah, there we go, he lost it. That's exactly what happens if you are too aggressive. Fewer planes. Something just died. Strelkova DP. Yeah, whatever is in there, it is a problem. I don't know how... Whatever is in there kills them incredibly fast, and I'm just not paying enough attention. Oh, it's probably... Yeah, I know what it is. It's TNT throwers and I'm not. He's microing them and I'm not. That's what it is. Just have to continue doing this for a bit. Oh no, they won against... Wow. Okay. Didn't expect this to win against enough though. You can also just start going after whatever's over there. Alright, now let's bring in one of these and let's start contesting the center again, now that he's not paying attention. We should start reinforcing this with proper armor now. Retreat this maybe a little bit. Keep it moving. And then let's actually bomb this. And bomb this. Yeah, MP44 is so deadly now. The yellow cores are really a problem for me because I can't really deal well with those. Guys shouldn't really be able to get those. No, we're not gonna catch them, but we can keep them at the ready. Yeah. We can get these guys and then we definitely need to get some T-34s in here. Oh, no. That is now not in the right position. Let's get some more infantry up here. Let's fool this back a little bit and this one as well. We need to hold now. It's going to be grindy, which is not good because I don't think this division can grind super well. Actually, it can. We have good artillery. We need to get that out, but still need to be careful because he's going to be at the pinnacle of his Maverick power very soon. So obviously, that is not ideal. I need to get some proper recon up here. That should be the next goal right here. Now that I think of it. Yeah, look at that. Now he has actually proper... Oh no, he killed it. Oh, I actually have these guys now. Forgot about that. Yeah, you can now turn. Oh, let's call him back. He has some artillery going, so we need to deal with that. And let's get artillery next. I think. No, we still need to get recon. Oh, let's get a sniper up here. Then we can see something over here, because we definitely do need that. We need to deal with that as well. Obviously, we can't have that thing right there doing that much work. Oh, this one's out of ammo. This is also out of ammo. We still have this one. Another one of these. We can't bring the artillery now. That's alright. At least we get recon. I mean, I should actually probably get one of these as well. So we can prep now. And I'm fine with him suiciding those. Oh, tank is coming. You can bring more of those. And I guess we can shift this one over here as well. What just died here? Oh, 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 no, I didn't want you to go, I didn't want you to go there. We're running out of CQC, which is not good. The fact that he has good CQC to... Oh, now he has the Nebels. Yeah, this is a problem. Because my division cannot grind. That's the big problem. Not against a division like his. Against other divisions, yes. But not against a division like his. We can... Oh, yeah. Not good, not good. This is where having some proper... This is where having some proper CQC would really make... some proper AT would now really make a difference. I think we can just prove first that... Yeah, this is... I should have secured this off better. But I couldn't really do it. It's just gonna get... It's gonna get teamed up heavily over there and then probably die to that. Let's just kill that. Okay, so something's over there. It was a stupid plan. I mean, it worked. Alright, we need to get artillery up. We can't continue on like this. Or what we can do is... Big smart play coming in. But do I have a half-track left? Yeah. Right here I have another half-track. I really need this thing. You can then go all the way back here and then I can pick up these guys. Oh, okay, I need you to spot then. I need to pull him back, and he's out of ammo, but he's not. We smoke, we smoke, we smoke. We need to shift our infantry a little bit. This is so annoying. Oh, forgot to recall him. Well, it's gonna have to do. Is this a mortar? I don't know. Let's go after it. Oh, he's still moving. Now he's aiming. It's good. It's good. Alright, we need to get AT in here. We need to get that AT quickly to get some more over here, and we need to get... Oh, we really would need some more CQC. You can actually get rerouted over here. I need you over there. You don't have any half-tracks left. Oh, there's one. There's one. This is so crucial now. Please just go back here and then all the way... No, sorry. Go back here, and then you can go over there. Oh, we can also use you for transport. No, it died. Yeah, now this is coming in. Oh, crap. Yeah, I do not have a chance against the Neville. I can win CQC, but I can't, can't win a Neville grind. This is horrible. I kind of think my win condition is I need to win fast. I mean, he's losing planes left and right. I think I'm not trading that poorly. It's just that I don't have the pressure that I need. Actually, you can go after this, please. Because that actually gives me some openings in, well, the open. I kill off my support gun. This one just can't see. Okay, I think he's finally running low on CQC. No, he's not. There's one of these stupid things right there. Yeah, that's that thing lost. Let's retreat here a little bit. Can't hold this flag for much longer. No, this is actually a nice kill. Or can. But at this range, I think she can still kill it. But we definitely need to get some support guns in here. Into Strelkova. You cannot retreat. You need to hold this. Okay. Yeah, we can pick up our AFTO. This is one of the weirder plays I've done so far. But if it works out, it's actually hilarious. But we need some AT here as well. You can retreat. You can just start shelling. I have not used you very well. You need to go back there because otherwise it's going to be tricky. I'm still holding this miraculously somehow. I'm amazed by him still being determined to strafe with this. It's really not that good of an idea, honestly. Someone just died over here. That's not good. Oh, he spotted that one, obviously. That's not that big of a problem at the moment. We can get the pressure going again. There we go. Good, you can now focus on these. Oh, that's a huge reconnect that gives another flag. Still have the Shredder little tanks. Those are really fantastic. We got a leader in there. We get some more CQC, which we can probably use over there. Not probably, we are going to have to use that over there. Actually, this is not good. Can you shoot at this? This is a bit of a problem. We definitely need more support over here. Yeah, it's just going to slowly grind me down over here. Where's the air force over here? I can... Oh, it walked too far. Yeah. That's my bad. Let's get on the tank in there. The plane didn't die, of course. We got a Pendo. Weirdly enough. And another one. Good. Oh, he traded. That's not good, but this is what it is. We actually got in here. That's good. That's good. Stop this order then. Just start shelling whatever is over there. Got the 15-9. Now we can actually start thinking, getting back in there. It's a bit risky. We need to go from this side though. We need the 50 mil. I'm gonna put it over there because I don't want to get close to whatever is over there. We can maybe come from the back over there. I want to use those in tandem. I don't want to use one of them at a time because it just means that it's easily going to die. Like, this is probably not the best place to do it. But we can actually try to bomb this. And then you can evac, and then you can also evac. What? Okay, let's do this then. This way then. That works. Let's get another tank up here. Yeah, that was what I kind of was afraid of. We got one, which is good. Oh, I got these flags back. It's good. No, I didn't want to load those. Fuck. Wait, it worked, I guess. It has to be over there. Oh crap, yeah, I forgot about that. This thing is still in position. This thing is also ready. T-34s are coming in. With some of these as well. How close they can kill the Panzerfuhl. Obviously this is not good. We need to get this in here now. At this distance. Can't use the MP4, the MG42. Where is that thing? Over here there should be something. I guess it's over there then. Yeah, we can find that. Oh, over here is where this thing is. We might be able to get in there. And then this we can bomb. Actually, we can get rid of it this way. Don't need this over here now. Oh, he spotted that. Come on, dude. Come on. Get another one of these up there. I'm back to 12-12. Then we can fight this with there. T6 are doing the work, really. Wow. So we can probably double team this now. Okay, this is stopped. Just gonna have to shell whatever is over there. This is probably a mortar. Which means it's most likely a mortar half track and it's not worth going after. I used smoke. Crap. We need to keep him moving. 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 Yeah. Push him forward. He can fight over that. Kill this. Strelkova have an AT grenade, so they can actually, if the Panzerfuhl comes closer, they can actually fight that. Artillery is probably going to pay off more, honest. We need to spread out here. Okay, we got another flag back. We just need to keep it going a little bit. This is maybe a little bit too concentrated. Alright, let's get this lug out right there. Let's fold you back again. Let's shift you over there. Actually, you can... There we go. We can find that.
Сделали их. Ваше приказание. Зацепили.
Oh, you need to help over here, please. Oh, you should not actually do that.
Так точно.
Oh, I forgot that I sent those out.
Приказ. Отделение ждет команды.
Yeah, just run into it, please. He actually sees it, wow. Oh, it's this guy.
Взвод построен и ждет приказа.
Not with me, not with me. Oh, come on.
Борис,
Maybe I need to fold that one back a little bit.
Ваше приказание, товарищ.
санитар. Шагом марш.
Alright, let's get another artillery piece out. This part, at this time in the game, it's obviously quite important. Oh, crap. This mortar fire is somewhat accurate here. We need something up close that can also deal with whatever is over there. Yeah. I hate these guys. They're really good right now. It's a really good unit for 25 points. This is the one division that I did not want to see buffed when the the MP40 buff happens, because this division really doesn't need it, honestly. Like, it's just disgusting to see this division good. But it is what it is. Let's get one of these in, and something in here. We need to hold this.
Оружие на изготовку. Приготовиться к бою.
Мы готовы.
Зацепили.
Alright, we're slowly grinding our way back in there. What just died? Oh, this guy died. That was to be expected.
Увидите фрица,
The interesting thing is I've not seen the Nebels in a while. I think you've forgotten them. No, I probably jinxed it. We can actually see what we can do with you.
Я больше не могу.
Oh, there we go. There they are. Didn't kill enough though, fortunately for me. I don't know what you were doing, but you're obviously not doing anything.
Ваши приказания.
Okay, this is good for me.
Ордену! Вперед, хлопцы!
мы готовы.
Oh, it's the Panzer IV. Crap.
Оружие на изготовку.
Отступаем медленно.
Сделали их. Вставай, страна.
Oh, there's a Panzer IV in there too.
Вижу
Crap.
противника.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky if there's armor everywhere and you don't have bazookas for those close ranges. Like, just look at how he's pulling me. I can't do anything. This is incredibly frustrating. I have to tell you that. Like, this is one of the more frustrating experiences I've had so far, because you can just not do anything. I think I'm doing well considering the circumstances, but the game is not making me easy to match up. Like, the fact that pretty much everything he brings out is superior, and I can't deal with it. Except for CQC, like, these guys actually do win at CQC, but that is unfortunately not really enough. Okay, now just kill that off, and then we can actually do some work here again, but obviously got penned. Oh, come on, it didn't even shoot. Oh, there was another one. Yeah, that's probably goodbye. If you get these up close.
Ваша карета вас ждет, товарищ.
You do not want to get this close.
Доставлю вас туда в долю секунды. Прямое
I just need to win this now. I can bomb him out there, maybe. It's not going to be easy, though.
Готов.
It's rough, I tell you. The fact that I just can't do anything against the armor is a big problem. Like, I just think, yeah, he can just drive up with a tank. Not much I can do. Not much I can do. I guess you have to go that... Oh. You go this way. You target this as well. Drop the bombs. As good as you can. Oh, there's actually something... Yeah, this is... That didn't even do enough. I think we can call in the GG here, because I cannot withstand the armor push anymore. I don't have the AT. Maybe we can save it, but... I don't really know how. I guess we have to resort to strafing now as well, because I didn't really have another option. As long as we can keep a flag, maybe. But we're getting grinded down here as well.
Приказы, хлопцы.
This guy needs to get resupplied.
Товарищ командир, выпущу вас там. Осторожнее.
I got spotted. Good. Okay, maybe we can fight another day here.
Противника.
We need to shift your attention to this. Do I get... Oh, this is my last tank. This is obviously not good.
Отделение ждет
Oh,
команды.
the half track is pulling me too.
Вперед, хлопцы.
What do I do about that? What do I do about that? Okay, I can kill it. Don't use the APCR though, please. Oh, armor cracked. Okay, you can use the APCR. It's fine. Yeah, he has a little wolf pack over there.
Стрелки готовы.
I mean, we're still winning, but it's probably not for long enough. That's the big problem here. It's only for so long that we can actually do this. The state mortar fire here is a bit of a problem too.
Вытащите меня отсюда.
You need to fall back now. We need to get some Strelkis in here. And more of those guys. I don't really know what else we can do here.
За родину.
I forgot that we have these guys. Maybe they can do something here.
Оружие на изготовку.
Let's kill one of those. We need this now. I don't really have another way of holding this. But yeah, his Wolfpack is really doing massive damage right here. The fact that he has the things there but I can't see, I'm so bad with using the line of sights that we get on this hill. Oh, he's killed off. Oh no, come on. He's killed off all my recon up here. It's obviously good that he's going for the recon, like, that's a smart play, but...
Ваши приказания.
Okay, no. We do not do this. We do not do this. Actually, if he keeps keeping that, like if he keeps that right there, I can take this out with 50 mil. I can do that. I can absolutely do that.
Стрелки готовы.
Yeah, and now I have a bit of a problem.
Так точно. Зацепили.
Oh, you are not supposed to take that road. Oh, this one is what's coming in. Okay. Put the flag back. That's good. Just need to keep the tick going at the moment.
Мы готовы.
I got a pen. I don't know about what. So let's maybe.
Борис, ложись. Ваши приказания.
Can keep this like right here, and then he can't easily push up. I'm just gonna go defensive here, and there's no need to risk anything right there.
Меня отсюда.
I guess we just have to grind this out over here now.
Проверить прицелы.
But obviously, if he's
Прямое попадание. Огонь. Расставим их.
giving me a moment where I can actually catch off that,
Зацепили.
can we maybe?
Боевое построение.
At least we can at least get something out of this.
Все снаряды израсходованы, товарищ. Прямое попадание.
Okay, there we go. That was the opening I was looking for.
Точно-таки.
Because if we can get another flag, that would be great.
Туда. Так точно.
Oh, I got a kill on my tank there. That was a big problem. Oh no, I still have this. Still have this. It's still here. It's still here. We need to get this though.
Хочется работать.
Санитар. Ваши приказания.
And then we're gonna get with another one of these. Just bomb whatever is over there. We bomb whatever is over there. Because it can't be like right here. So that's gonna give us the flags back that we really need. We can kill the A here, that would be huge too. So that gives us another opening there.
Отделение ждет команды.
Я подбит! Прошу помощи! Молодец, наводчик. Артиллерия ждет приказа.
Зацепили.
Готово.
Зацепили.
What are you seeing? Are you seeing this guy? Wow.
Вытащите меня отсюда.
I need to use him a little bit more aggressively.
Санитар.
Прицел 10. Огонь. Готов для фотофотографии. Готов к сравнению, товарищ.
Okay, move. Move, get this flag. We need to keep going. We need to keep going.
Готов, товарищ.
Будьте начеку.
Come on, you can do it. I believe in you.
Товарищ командир. Доставлю вас туда в
You move up here because I need you over here.
Да стоп тебя.
Стрелки.
No, he's stuck. He can't decide what to shoot at.
Разговорчики в строю. Вперед. И снаряжение не забудьте. За родину.
Okay, we got the flag that we needed. It's good. It's good. It's good. We got this. Trust.
Хищник готов.
Okay, pull back.
Закончим путешествие пешком. Орудие проверено и заряжено. Бычий глаз!
We can use him to shred infantry. And we might be having a chance here. And still staying in the... Oh, I forgot that we have AT plates. The crap. I played a game before, as I said, and it was absolutely useless. We can still bring in these guys. Oh, this is obviously not good now. Pull back, pull back.
Родину.
Push. Push.
Я
Uh,
больше не могу.
Oh, my artillery's dead. You can actually start shelling this. We need you as... Yeah,
Ваши приказания.
just whatever I can get you as, really. Let's get a last AT out here.
Понял.
Let's get some last... Let's get this out here, whatever. Anything, really. That can hold the line. Not much that I've left.
Готов
Uh,
к огонь.
okay, if he gets stuck on this, I'm happy with this. This is okay with me. It's okay with me. I need to get this up here now. This AT.
Слушаю.
Yeah, there's more things here they can kill. I just need to hold up for a little bit longer.
Замечено.
Just shoot at whatever you can see over here. You need to shoot at whatever you can see over here. This is where the fight is decided. Now if I can keep this flag, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Actually, this around here is where you should shell. Then I need to get this flag now. Just brute force away in there. We can also brute force away over there. Just need to hold a little bit. Oh, we have enough though. Where do we need? Where do we use the after now? I don't really need the after. Okay, okay, okay. We got something here. Things are happening.
Я больше не
Let's send this in here. You can die.
могу.
That's alright.
Ждет команды.
You can absolutely die. I don't care.
За поражение.
We need to get this back now though because we're about to lose that one over there probably.
Сюда.
You can then engage that. Just shell whatever is over there.
Что вам угодно? Прямое попадание.
GG. Well played. He played it well. He was just not aggressive enough. Like, he could have retaken the center the whole time. I think he was really afraid of this, but... I'm also not sure if he adjusted the deck to the matchup, to be honest, because that would explain why we haven't seen a single Panther. But I think... Oh, did I kill the Panther 4 here? Looks like it. Oh, ho, ho. D34. You're my hero. You are not my hero. But oh, you did well. You did well. Not as well as I needed you to do, but you did well. Wow, that was a game. That was a game. Trades were actually really even as well. I'm really surprised it didn't bring a single Panther. Like, he could have pressured the open so easily. He could have won this. To be fair, though, if he had done this, he would have obviously not have pressured me so well at the flanks, but still. No, I think he still could have, because he didn't need that many resources for the open. He had the guerrilla and everything there. He needed 1 or 2 infantry units, and that would have been it. Like, he could have won that. I don't think I could have prevented it. I definitely felt the lack of my T-34s and A-phase, but I felt like I was without any pushing power very quickly. At the same time, though, I do not think I had any chance of winning this whatsoever if I didn't have them in B-phase. I needed them desperately against the Panzer IV. Desperately. D60, they're actually quite well as well. But yeah, so, I mean, if you look at how things went, he obviously got some success in the opener. That was quite unlucky there. Then expecting to have those in a position where they can easily challenge this. Because not a lot of people actually, like, a lot of people to try and rush the hill. But a lot of people deploy a lot of heavy machine guns there to contest the hill. Because if you don't rush it, it's kind of wasted in my opinion. If you deploy defensively machine guns later on in the town, it makes a lot of sense because you want to make sure your opponent can't just move in. But at the start, it don't really make a lot of sense because either your opponent rushes in and then those are not that useful, or he doesn't and then they're also not that useful. But yeah, the problem is that they are in a range where they can fight support gun, then support gun tends to lose. The Pumas did some work. I mean, actually, he did rush up the hill. True. Just a little bit late. These did some work at strafing. They're not terrible strafers, but they didn't really pay off, I think, all things considered. This is why I'm not a huge fan of using those as strafers. Those did some work, but fortunately I got rid of them at some point. I think he used all of them aggressively in the opener and then kind of regretted that he done that because, yeah, you can't call them in then when you actually really need it. Or maybe not in the opener, but I think a little bit too early. Yeah, the Nebels are a huge issue. I don't know why he used them so little. I think he forgot about them some point. Because if he'd used them more, I wouldn't have stood a chance. These guys were really a problem for me. Like, they're actually really good now. The Group Sachisti is still better, but I don't have the cards to go long against those guys, and yeah, obviously there's plenty of those. It's such a strong hybrid unit these days because it's actually quite decent at 6. It's not super good, but it's decent. And then you have 2 MG42s for range. Like, this is a fantastic hybrid unit these days. Which is did some work as expected here as well. T60, some nice stuff. The TU did some good bombing runs. I'm not sure if I used them perfectly, but it did do something. This thing didn't really do that much. I kind of felt like I needed to pressure the open. But maybe it's what, held him up prevented him from actually pushing, and then it's actually quite good for me. Another TU that did well. Oh, and some more units. Group of just such. Jeez. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry to any Russian speakers. I'm horrible with your language. Yeah, this thing actually. Oh, this is what shred all my snipers. I never noticed. That was a bit of a problem. Yeah, these guys actually were quite a problem too. Obviously quite strong now as well. I'm glad that they, put them to 30 points, but this division I really wish they were 35. But it's also in Tatra, and so I think they made the right decision with putting it back to 30. It used to be 35 right when the buff happened. Up to Strelkova, yeah, he got a lot of those. It took me a while to realize, I have to admit that. These two also got some things, but not that much. Panzer IV. Yeah, the Panzer IVs were already a problem for me, but at least those I could handle. I think the Stryk would have been a bigger problem. Yeah, the 81, yeah, he had the Wolfpack. Those are absolutely devastating if you have radio range and opponents to station. Definitely didn't move those enough. I moved them sometimes, but not enough. And but yeah, I mean, it's really hard to deal with those when you just box into one small area and then the opponent can just shell you. Neville's doing Neville stuff. I don't remember which one that was. The IG was actually quite the problem as well. It also killed this thing off. Another Nabble. It did not do that much, actually. It mostly killed my 50 mils, which is annoying. I quite like those. Panzer IV killed a lot of my armor too. Oh, that was the one, I think, on the left. I remember the T60 dying to it, and then obviously the T34s as well. Yeah, that took out 2 of those. I was a bit salty about that. The Gorilla did do some work, not an awful lot. Not a Panzer IV. Taking a look at this thing go. I mean, those obviously aren't particularly good against Panzer IVs, but you would be surprised at close range what they can pen. It's generally fascinating. I was hoping that some of these would eventually realm a Panzer IV, but they just didn't. I think that was the one on the right in the forest there. I was a bit disappointed. I would have expected more, but yeah, okay. Just kept feeding Strelk in the Mika. I didn't have an answer. I just ran out of CQC too much. Obviously, I think if you played this in the tournament game, you would probably go with less line infantry and more CQC and kind of let the one line infantry unit that you do take and your light armor do the heavy lifting. And then you probably add a CQC card in C phase. I think this is how I would build this for a tournament, but for quick play, I'm not sure if you can get away with it. Considering they need to be ready for a lot of maps and a lot of matchups, and you kind of have to know that you are not really going to stand a chance in a CQC heavy matchup with a really good CQC division. But against a division like this, you have a chance, at least depending on the map. This is, I think, one of the better maps purely talking about CQC maps. This is one of the better maps that Lazar could have gotten. I think something like Cell, for example. The MP44 will be absolutely busted, but you have one mortar strike and that's gone, and your armor can't, you don't have any pressure in the open, for example. Or I think the streets would also not be. You could dominate the open, but you kind of get what I mean. But let's say you end up on a map like Harashaye, where I also would want to play this division. But if your opponent's division is not that well suited for that map either, you have a somewhat of a chance. But if that division has any light AT capability, you're in big trouble if you only have the one line infantry and rely on this. So this is where I really think you can have to go this way. But I think it's definitely something you can actually try out for yourself and maybe play around with it a little bit, because it would be really cool if you could use it that way. And then you really have to CQC advantage. Like on no map should you ever lose any CQC fights. And that would actually be quite huge for this division too. So just some thoughts. But anyway, yeah, looking back at the game, I think it could have been a little bit better with my deployment. That I kind of screwed it up, and then obviously I didn't really bring things fast enough to secure off the edge of the hill on the left, which turned out to be a big problem because I couldn't actually inflict him all that much damage, while at the same time he could push back in and get into those fights I didn't really want to. I definitely was too late and not really good with my push into the town. That would have been quite useful, and I really screwed it up. And I think if I had gotten that push into the town, that game could have looked quite different, but I didn't get it. I was just a little bit too slow and too spammy on the left, which I then paid for. Obviously, his quite deep center push, required a lot of resources that I would have actually needed to make that push into the town happen. So that actually worked out quite well for him. And again, I think there's a lot of mistakes, but it's just rough with this division, honestly. Like he had fighting power at the flanks, and the problem is of a lot of the important tools, he could just get more than I could, which is true with this division. And then obviously his levels are quite a bit better than my big artillery pieces, the 210s. Although they did some work. I don't think they're the massive killers, but they pinned a lot, certainly. Like they have been working non-stop. I need to watch a replay to see how much they actually did, but I think they actually were quite useful here. So, it's not all bad with this division, but there's definitely some tricky situation. And again, I do believe if he focused less on the flanks and actually really took advantage of his potential to control the center, I think he would have had this game probably. Like I had way too many flags in center at the end of the game for something that I did actually not really actively contest. Like all I did is bomb out some of the towns and then send an infantry unit in. Also, the one forest patch, I think I bombed and then sent an infantry unit in, so that really shouldn't have happened. Like, I shouldn't have been allowed to get that, but it is what it is. But again, I think if it hadn't done that, I would have at least had a better angle at holding the flank. So, I think that there's multiple ways of seeing this. But anyway, let's go back to the deck and talk about it real quick. So, there's not that much to say here, actually. I think I'm going to keep the division as it is. I'm definitely happy with the change here, removing some Maxim and taking a T70. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of things that I think you can change if you want to, but I'm, for the most part, happy with this as it is. I would definitely wish that you could change some things that unfortunately can't change. You know, just having more AT, just having more slots here at least to fit another one of these in would be fantastic, because it gives us a little bit of room more AT options. You know, when we can't have more units, I think a little bit more slots and cheaper slots would really benefit this division, but we don't get it. So yeah, the things that you can change, again, you could definitely change around things between these two, whether you want to have both or not, it's totally up to you. And you could fit some more things in the support tab or in the utility tab. And I'm going to get to why this might actually be useful. It's not very efficient, but it might be useful, and I'm going to see why. But yeah, this is definitely an option that you have. In your infantry tab, you could change things around a little bit. I already touched on it. You could definitely decide to go with only one range unit, probably this one, and then have some CQC C-phase card as well, so that you can really go long and hold well, because that helps a lot with defending and holding. And you kind of count on your one line infantry unit come out with the light armor to do all the work. But it's very risky because in a lot of maps and in quite a few matchups it won't work. So I would keep it as it is. But still, options that you have if you want to change things around a little bit is remove something and take these. However, I personally think that 2 cards of CQC and 2 cards of line infantry are absolutely needed in this division with this income. So I just can't fit those in, but those are still a good idea. Obviously, you can still go super spam if you want to take those over, for example, Strelkova SVT. And this, will not be horrible because you then get a combination of cheap spammable tanks and cheap spammable infantry. That can actually be quite overwhelming if your opponent doesn't have anything in terms of medium tanks that he can put up against that. But even then, if you're T70s, you have at least a fighting chance against that. So those are some ideas, some thoughts. Things that you could definitely change if you want to, but I'm happy with this. Now, this one, I really think it's better in B phase. I've definitely noticed it would have been nice to have it in A phase too, but as we've also seen, it can happen very quickly that you need them a little bit longer. And I think on the maps where this division is good, these can be enough to push at least a little bit in some areas, as we've seen here as well. But in the long run, you still need some mediums. And if you have only 4 in A phase, you're not going to be able to win. On those maps where you really cannot make these work and you absolutely need T34 in A phase, I do not think you're having much of a chance. I don't think this really saves you, because on those maps, you will absolutely need those in the long run as well. There's no way you're going to win that, in my opinion. So I think it's okay like this. It is still risky. You can still change it if you want to. But I think this is actually a good way of doing it. Yeah, here I'm happy with it as it is. Here I would really love to have more of the 45 mils in there as well, but we definitely do need those since they have a little bit of range and pen, and we just can't fit them in. I would really love this division to get another slot here, and just some cheaper slots maybe here and in here as well, and then you can actually fit in another 45, because you really need it since, again, the armor is so limited. Yeah, here I wouldn't really change much. If you feel really ballsy, you can absolutely take this in A phase only and take this in B phase, but I really wouldn't do personally. I definitely think this is a nice thing. First of all, it gives you still a little bit more AA, which is useful, but also you've seen how close I actually put that to the front line. I actually felt comfortable with this because it has a bit more survivability, and it can shred some infantry too if you use it better than I did. And this makes this actually quite useful, whereas with this, which is cheaper, I still don't want to put that close to the front line because it's my actual AA. And this one dies, I think, a little bit more easily. So yeah, I think there's a benefit to having this. So we're keeping this. Here, here's another place where I could see some changes. And again, that would be the Katyusha if you really want to, instead of this guy, which honestly I don't think we need. I think we can actually change this. So this may be the one change I would make, but I'm not sure if I would put this. Maybe get the Katyushas. Yeah, that can clear out some areas where you struggle otherwise. So maybe the Katyushas are good. They're good. They're good. Other options that you could do is you could take, it's not efficient, but you can take more of these guys, this is freeze, or you could take more 120s. Then you get some more direct fire support, and most importantly, you get some more AT that you desperately need. So this is an option. However, this is expensive, and this, for what you get, is actually also quite expensive, right? It's definitely not a good AT gun, the artillery loadout, but it has 10 AP shells. But it's just a little bit pricey. But if you're really desperate, that would be an option too. And then for the air trap, I'm actually quite happy with the way it works. I like the speed of those. I think there's 1 or 2 cases where this might just not have gotten in, and this one did, so I will keep it as it is. Yeah. In terms of my thoughts on the Vision, it hasn't really changed. It is not great for the close range maps, but it is okay. It can fight, as you've seen here, against the Division that is not dedicated for those maps. That being said, even against a Division that has some tools there, this can already struggle depending on how your opponent plays it, especially when it comes to dealing with a lot of armor and some decent CQC. Then all of a sudden it is not as good anymore. And despite having good air and good artillery, it is really not good at grinding, unless your opponent is too passive, like in this case, because again, your infantry is not that good, and while you have enough, it's really crappy, but you really just don't have the armor for it. I think that's the biggest problem that this division has. So, and this is how I look at this. Yeah, it's a really mid-tier for CQC maps, but it can win there. If you end up on any other maps, you have at least a fighting chance with some of the tools, especially the IC-122s, but your odds are definitely rather bad. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and see you all in the next one.